Hi students, welcome to Sunil's tutorial. I am Sunil Nirvani and today we will be doing the numericals of electrostatics. Please take out two identical charges, two identical charges repel each other with a force of 20 kg weight. Repel each other with a force of 20 kg weight. When separated by a distance of 10 to the power of minus 13 meters in air. When separated by a distance of 10 to the power of minus 13 meters in air. Find the value of each force. Find the value of each force. Find the value of each force. Now guys, can you please pay attention here? Two identical forces, that means Q1 will be equal to Q2. Let us assume that it is Q. 20 kg weight. To convert from kg weight to Newton, you multiply by 9.8. Here I can use Coulomb's law. If I use Coulomb's law, I can say F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 upon R square. But we have already said that Q1 is equal to Q2. So in that case, I can say 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q square upon R square. So I will get F. Now 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0, you should know that value by heart. It is nothing but 9 into 10 raised to 9. The value of 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 you need to know by heart is 9 into 10 raised to 9 is Q square upon R square. Therefore I can say that Fr square upon 9 into 10 raised to 9 is equal to Q square. Therefore I can say that Q is square root of Fr square upon 9 into 10 raised to 9. Substitute the values. You have the value of F, you have the value of R. Substitute the values, find square root right in the beginning since you are still beginners. Substitute, find the value using a calculator and see whether you can get the answer or no. I'll leave the calculations for you all to do on your own. The answer for this you should get as 1.476 into 10 raised to minus 17 coulombs. Take on next sum please. I'm leaving all sums half. I will show you the method but I will not show you the calculations. I want you all to try the calculations on your own. Take on. An electric field exerts a force. An electric field exerts a force of 30 into 10 raised to minus 4 newtons. An electric field exerts a force of 30 into 10 raised to minus 4 newtons on a charge of 12 microcoulombs. On a charge of 12 microcoulombs. Find the intensity of electric field. 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 Straightforward guys. Intensity of electric field is F upon Q. The only thing you have to know is that when you are converting from microcoulombs to coulombs, the conversion factor is 10 raised to minus 6. Fine. Take down next sum please. You should get the answer for this. When you solve this, you should get this answer as 250 newtons per coulomb. Next, take down next sum please. Two fixed point charges of 4 into 10 raised to minus 6 coulombs. two fixed point charges of 4 into 10 raised to minus 6 coulombs and 16 into 10 raised to minus 6 coulombs are separated from each other. 4 into 10 raised to minus 6 coulombs and 16 into 10 raised to minus 6 coulombs are separated from each other by 2 meters. Are separated from each other by 2 meters. Find the position between them. Find the position between them at which the resultant intensity. Find the position between them at which the resultant intensity due to the two charges is zero. At which find the position between them at which the resultant intensity due to the two charges is zero. The resultant intensity due to the two charges is zero. Let's assume that this is Q1, this is Q2. Now see, let's assume that you have a point P here. Now Q1 is going to exert some force at point P. Q2 is also going to exert some force at point P, right? I want to find out the position of P such that the net force at point P is zero. They said that the resultant intensity at point P is zero. Let us assume that point P is at a distance of x from A. Now since the total distance is 2 meters, that means it will be at a distance of 2 minus x from B. If it is at a distance of x from A, so if it is at a distance of x from P, then B will be at a distance of 2 minus x. Now, you have two charges. Let's find out the electric intensity. Intensity due to electric intensity at point P due to A. Now electric intensity E is given by the formula 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q upon R square. We've done this derivation, guys. Q upon R square. So in that case, the force that point A will exert at P is going to be this, right? We will call this as E1, right? We will call this as Q1 and we will call this as R1. So E1 will be, now you are supposed to know the value of 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 by heart, that is 9 into 10 raised to 9 into Q1 is 4 into 10 raised to minus 6 upon R1 is 2 minus, no, R1 is X. The whole square, right? Next, let us find out the electric intensity at point P due to B. Electric intensity E2 is going to be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q2 upon R2 the whole square, right? Now, this can be written as E2 will be equal to E2 will be equal to 9 into 10 raised to 9 into Q2 is 16 into 10 raised to minus 6 upon R2 is 2 minus x the whole square. But what have they said at point P? At point P the resultant intensity is 0, but at point P the resultant intensity is 0. Since the resultant intensity is 0, guys, logic. When will the resultant intensity, when will the resultant force at this point be 0? When the force exerted by A is equal to the force exerted by B. So the resultant intensity at point P will be 0. when E1 is equal to E2, you have the value of E1, you have the value of E2, we have already calculated. Substitute here, you should get your answer. You should get the answer of X. I'm not showing you the calculation. Most of the things will get cancelled, so should be very simple to do this calculation. The answer is X is 0.66 meters. Right? Take on next sum please. All this you will complete right now. Next, in a hydrogen atom, take on. In a hydrogen atom, electron revolves round the proton. In a hydrogen atom, electron revolves round the proton in a circular path. If the radius of the circular path is 5.4 into 10 raised to minus 11 meters, if the radius of the circular path is 5.4 into 10 raised to minus 11 meters, if the radius of the circular path is 5.4 into 10 raised to minus 11 meters and the charge on electron is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulombs, find the electrical force. Find the electrical force. Now guys, since an atom is electrically neutral, when will the atom be electrically neutral? Yeah, you want to ask me something? Find the electrical force, right? Since an atom is electrically neutral, an atom is electrically neutral when the charge on proton is equal to the charge on electron. Since the atom is electrically neutral, therefore I can say that the charge on proton should be equal to the charge on electron, except that it will be in opposite direction. Therefore, if Q1 is the charge on proton, then the charge on proton will be 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb, and if Q2 is the charge on electron, then charge on electron will be minus 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. The charge on proton and electron is same, except that it is opposite in direction. Radius is given to you as 5.4 into 10 raised to minus 11 meters. I can use Coulomb's law. By Coulomb's law, I can say F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 upon R square. We also know the value of 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 by heart, which is nothing but 9 into 10 raised to 9 meters. Where I can say that, not meters, SI units. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 is 9 into 10 raised to 9 SI units. You have all the values, you can substitute and get the answer. The answer for this sum should come to minus 7.9 into 10 raised to minus 8 newtons. Next, take on next one please. Find the electric field intensity. Find the electric field intensity Find the electric field intensity at a point. The electric field intensity at a point. The electric field intensity at a point is 400 newtons per coulomb. The electric field intensity at a point is 400 newtons per coulomb, and the distance of the point is 2 meters. And the distance of the point is 2 meters. find the charge at the point. Find the charge at the point. Find the charge at the point. Now, E is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q upon R square. E is given to you, R square is given to you. Also, I know that 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 is 9 into 10 raised to 9 SI units. If I substitute all these values in this formula, I should get the value of Q. You should get the answer for this as Q is 177 into 10 raised to minus 9 coulomb. That's the answer that you should get. Take on next one, please. An electron initially at rest. An electron initially at rest is accelerated. An electron initially at rest is accelerated through a potential difference of 300 volts find the energy acquired by the electron. Find the energy acquired by the electron if the charge on the electron is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulombs. If the charge on the electron is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulombs. Guys, we have done this. That was, remember we did this definition of electron volt. There we had found out what is the energy acquired by the electron. The energy acquired by the electron is given by the formula charge into potential difference. When you solve this, you will get this answer in terms of joules. It is quite possible that they will tell you to find the energy acquired by the electron in electron volts. Right? I can also say that energy acquired by electron is Q into V upon 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 electron volts. So this question could be asked to you in two forms. Either they will tell you find the energy acquired in joules, in which case that's how you will find out, and if they say electron volts, then you will substitute this way. The answer for this sum should be 4.8 into 10 raised to minus 17 joules, or it should also be equal to 300 electron volts. In both the units I explained to you. Next. A side of an equilateral triangle, a side of an equilateral triangle PQR, a side of an equilateral triangle PQR is 0.5 meters. Find the resultant electric field. Find the resultant electric field. Find the resultant electric field at corner R. Find the resultant electric field at corner R if a charge of plus 6 nanocoulombs and minus 4 nanocoulombs plus 6 nanocoulombs and minus 4 nanocoulombs are placed at P and Q. Right, nice sum. Let's try to see this, guys. Now, since this is an equilateral triangle, all the sides will have the same length. Since this is an equilateral triangle, all the angles will be 60 degree. Now, guys, let's try to understand this. P is going to exert some force on R. P is a positive charge, right? The charge at P, let us call it as Q1. So in that case, what will be the electric intensity at point R due to point P? Let's call that as E1. E1 will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon Q upon R square. So I'll come to know the force. Since this is a positive force, I'm going to consider this force to be an outward force. So see this. This is what P is going to do to R. It is going to try to push R outwards. Positive force outwards. Okay. Now similarly, Q is also going to exert some force on R. Right? Let's assume that the charge at point Q let's call that as minus Q2. Let's call that as Q2. So in that case, the electric intensity at point R due to point Q will be, say, E2. So E2 will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q2 upon R square. You know R is going to be the distance. Now, guys, try to understand this. If you look at point Q, guys, if you look at point Q is a negative charge. Now, if I'm considering that positive charge will push the point out, that means negative charge will try to pull the point towards itself. That means, because of point Q, R is going to be pulled in this direction. This is going to be my E2, right? This angle is 60 degree. Now these are in linear pair, that means this angle has to be 120 degree. The angle between E1 and E2 is going to be 120 degree, right? Guys, linear pair, do you understand this? If positive charge is pushing the point out, negative charge will pull the point in. So it is going to pull the point. Q is going to try to pull the point R towards itself, and P will try to push the point out. Fine. Now, let's try to find out what is the value of cos 120. Cos 120 can be written as cos 90 plus 30 all silver teacups max. All silver teacups. Now, 90 plus 30, that means it is going to be in second quadrant. In second quadrant, only sign ratio is positive, so cos ratio is going to be negative. So, cos, since it is in second quadrant, it is going to be negative. For 90 and 270, the trigonometric ratios become complementary. So, cos will change to sine. This will become minus sine 30. Sin 30 we know is 1 by 2, so cos 120 is minus 1 by 2. Right? Now I will just show you the two forces. I have this force here, which is E2. I have another force here, which is E1. Let's assume that the angle between them is theta. If I have two forces separated by an angle of theta, how do I find the resultant force? I find the resultant force by using parallelogram law of vectors. We have done this in vectors. I can say that by parallelogram law of vectors, if I apply parallelogram law of vectors, then I can say that the resultant force E, this is going to be my resultant force E, is going to be nothing but square root of E1 square plus E2 square plus twice E1 E2 cos theta. Theta is 120 and cos 120 we have already found out. So while doing this sum, guys, first substitute the values here. Substitute the values here, get the value of E1, you will get some number. Then substitute the values here, get the value of E2, you will get a number. Theta is 120, cos 120 we found out. Substitute those values here, you will get the net resultant force. The answer for this sum, guys, the answer for this sum should be 190.5 newtons per coulomb. Right? Let's take down another sum, guys. The distance between electron and proton, the distance between electron and proton, the distance between electron and proton is 2.64 into 10 raised to minus 11 meters. The distance between protons, electrons and protons is 2.64 into 10 raised to minus 11 meter. Find the electric force acting between them. Find the electric force acting between them if the charge on electron is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulombs. Now these sums I am giving you for practice. This sum is identical to the fourth sum that you have done. So when you want to try to solve this, look at the fourth sum. You have to use the same logic and try and solve this sum. I'm not showing you how to solve it. Look at the fourth sum, try to use your brain, try to get the answer. The answer for this should be 3.305 into 10 raised to minus 7 newtons. Take down next sum. Now I've shown you a couple of sums. Now I'll give you a couple of sums for practice. Right. The force acting on a charge, of 20 microcoulombs, the force acting on a charge of 20 microcoulombs in an electric field is 0.05 newtons. Is 0.05 newtons. Find electric field intensity. Find electric field intensity. Find electric field intensity. Find electric field intensity. This sum is like the second sum. As I told you, now I'm giving you sums for practice. I've shown you one sum of a type. I'll give you sums for practice. Look at the second sum and try solving this sum. The answer for this should come to 2.5 into 10 raised to 3 newtons per coulomb. Next. Take our next sum, please. Two-point charges of 2 microcoulombs, 2-point charges of 2 microcoulombs and 4 microcoulombs are separated by 0.4 meters in air. are separated by 0.4 meters in air, are separated by 0.4 meters in air. Find the position of a point having resultant intensity 0. Find the position of a point having resultant intensity 0. Find the position of a point having resultant intensity 0. This sum is like the third sum. In fact, it's the replica of the third sum, only the numbers are changed. Look at the third sum and try solving this sum. You should get this answer as 0.1656 meters. It's third sum. You know, while copying the sum, you can write it's like with sum, so that you know where you have to see, so that you can, you'll have a reference sum that will make things simpler. Next, take on next sum, please. Calculate the energy gained by an electron. Calculate the energy gained by an electron. Calculate the energy gained by an electron when accelerated. Calculate the energy gained by an electron when accelerated with a potential difference. When accelerated with a potential difference of 40 volts. When accelerated with a potential difference of 40 volts, if the charge on electron is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulombs. If the charge on electron is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulombs. Now this sum is replica of the sixth sum. This sum is exactly like the sixth sum. Look at the sixth sum and try solving this. You should get this answer as 64 into 10 raised to minus 19 joules. You should get the answer of this as 64 into 10 raised to minus 19 joules. It's like the sixth sum. Take on next sum, please. A point charge of 4 into 10 raised to minus 12 coulombs. A point charge of 4 into 10 raised to minus 12 coulombs is situated in air. Find the electric intensity. Find the electric intensity at a distance of. Find the electric intensity at a distance of. Find the electric intensity at a distance of 0.5 meters from the charge. Find the electric intensity at a distance of 0.5 meters from the charge. This sum is exactly like the fifth sum. You should get the answer for this as 0.144 volts per meter. Next, take down next one, please. Three-point charges. Three-point charges. Three-point charges of 2 microcoulombs, 3 microcoulombs and 5 microcoulombs, of 2 microcoulombs, 3 microcoulombs and 5 microcoulombs are placed at the three corners of equilateral triangle an equilateral triangle find the resultant force acting on 2 microcoulombs. Find the resultant force acting on 2 microcoulomb charge. I'll show you this sum, guys. Right? This is 2 microcoulombs, 3 microcoulombs and 5 microcoulombs. Okay. Here they have asked me to find out force acting. Right? Now, I can say that force acting, guys, can you please see this? Force acting on 2 microcoulombs due to 3 microcoulombs. I can find out the force by using Coulomb's law. I can apply Coulomb's law and find out the force, let us assume, is equal to say F1. So F1 will be equal to Q 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 upon R square 3-point charges are placed at 3 corners. I don't think I dictated the length of the equilateral triangle. Just see, have I dictated the length? No. So 3-point charges of 2 microcoulombs, 3 microcoulomb and 5 microcoulombs are placed at the 3 corners of equilateral triangle of length 1 meter. Of length 1 meter. Right? So I'll come to know F1. So what will F1 do? F1 is going to push this out. So this is going to be my F1. Right? Similarly, the force acting on 2 microcoulombs due to 3 microcoulombs, let's call that as F2. Again, I can find out F2 by using Coulomb's law. So I can say by Coulomb's law, F2 is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q3 upon R square. Right? Can you please see the diagram, people? B is going to push the point up. C is going to push the point down. This is going to be my force F2. Okay? I'll just draw the forces up here again. So at point A, you have one force that is pushing it up. You have another force that is pushing it down. Right? Now guys, if it is an equilateral triangle, that means the angle here at point A inside should have been 60 degree. If this angle is 60 degree, that means this angle should be 120 degree, linear pair. Right? That means theta is 120 degree. Right? And cos 120 we have already found out. I just explained to you how you find out cos 120. Cos 120 we found out is minus 1 by 2. I explained this to you in our previous sum. Now, I can say that the resultant force F can be found out by parallelogram law of vectors. If I apply parallelogram law of vectors, I can say F is equal to square root of F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 cos theta. Right? I can substitute the values and I can get the answer. I should get the answer for this as 78.4 into 10 raised to minus 3 newtons. That should be the answer for that question. Right? That finishes all the numericals up to intensity. We have done all the numericals except the numericals of potential. We'll see potential in the next lecture, numericals of potential in the next lecture. We'll stop here for the day. Thank you very much.